today. From Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Chicago Bears taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his third season, Jalen Hurts.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Hurts throwing right away. He'll buy some time right. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Robert Quinn make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. They'll roll him out right. Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here come the Bears, and at the helm is someone that they have a lot of hopes for leading this franchise. The 11th pick in 2021 out of Ohio State, Justin Fields.
You're talking about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. To throw is Fields, and he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Fields, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields, and a throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And some room to maneuver. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
They go play action with Hurts. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Eagles are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Back to throw. Fields to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Santos' kick is up and through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Fields now to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Now Fields. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver, because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's the jet sweep to Pascal. And some room to roam now. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze, because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout, and that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Flush to his right. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins, 42 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. So, wow, he scrambles right, throws across his body all the way back to the left, but it worked out.
Wouldn't you just love to hear the thought process of the offensive coordinators that play unfolded? And I think a lot of it was, no. Nice throw, my man. Nice throw.
I'd also like to hear the quarterback what's going on in his head as that ball leaves his hand.
Oh, please let it get there, because otherwise I'm in big trouble.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough. Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to.
And now off to the races down the right side. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now it's Fields. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And that will be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And they will remain well behind.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Sanders toss left side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start in the NFC East. This one always a battle. New York taking on Washington, and it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Kadarius Toney, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium, and they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Clyde Edwards-Helaire with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they trail the visiting Cowboys at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Fields this way up at the 17, and he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, the return is Ward. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time. Tonight, Patriots and Raiders, that's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer there. And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. And a curious play call here, to say the least. Thought it might be a trick, but no, he actually goes down to a knee. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts rolling to his right. Throws this one right side to Pascal. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Here's Hurts. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Right there,
Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Well, this offense, Charles, what we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah,
there he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On the option left is Fields. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well. And that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves. But we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they're not
not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Got an open man, it's Pringle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other side, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Here's Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Fields. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Santos now to add the PAT. And
and they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Scott on the return out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes, and boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
And brought in by Braid. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chicago offense set to get started. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but Fields hit and the ball is loose.
And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
A short kick taken at the 18.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big play there on the catch and run. 36 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Fields on first down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Santos with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Second down, back to Sanders. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Hey, smash Bronco! Reload!
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Philadelphia, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast